Hello, friends. Um, I'm Gwyneth, and welcome to Living Room Restorative Yoga. I'm going to give it just like a couple seconds for people to hop on. I'm very excited to teach this class tonight, but mainly because I feel like I'm going to feel a sense of community as people kind of come in and out to do yoga with me. It's been already like just the last couple days. I know it's very isolating when we're not with people, and so I hope that maybe as you're doing this, just know that other people, even if you can't see them, are doing it too. So hopefully you can feel some sort of community. Feel free to chat. I want to hear what you have to say. I know that might mess up your yoga, but I'll try to kind of look over and see. I see that Kevin and Zach and Anna and Amy are on. So, oh, and Miles. So lots of people are here with you. So please just, feel like even if you're alone right now or with your family or something, know that there are other people doing this at the same time, and hopefully you'll feel a little sense of community in that. We are going to begin with just some breathing techniques. So find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. If your feet are tucked under or your legs are out in front of you, ooh, my toes. Just find whatever kind of comfortable seat means for you. Maybe it's butterfly pose with your soles of your feet together and legs out. And close your eyes. Maybe for the first time today, just take a nice big inhale, filling up the lungs, and then exhale. Sigh it out. That felt pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Inhale and exhale. I don't know if you were watching the news today, about an hour ago or so. There were some dates that were thrown around with how long we might have to do the social distancing. And as a social person, being distant from people that I love is really hard. And so I know that probably somewhere in your body you're holding on to that tension you feel. And that tension you should feel, because as humans, we are so social and we love hanging out with people. And to tell yourself that you can't do that, that you can't touch or hug or see the friends that you love, there's going to be tension created in your body just because that feels wrong. So let's do this again. Let's inhale another time. Exhale it out. And this time as you exhale, try to imagine those spaces in your body that are holding on to that tension and release it out. I like to find a 3-count breath when I'm in a yoga class, inhaling, trying to fill my lungs completely for 3 counts. Exhaling for the same amount of time. 1, 2, 3, emptying the lungs completely. Inhale again to fill up the lungs. And exhale. 1, 2, 3. This time as you inhale, bring your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale. As you exhale, roll the shoulders down your back. 1, 2, 3. Inhale one more time up. And exhale. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Let's bring our chin to our chest. Hold your chin down, feeling the stretch down the back of the neck, all the way down the tail of your spine. And then as you inhale, gaze up, reaching your neck and your chin up. Exhale back down. One more time, inhale up. And exhale. Good. This time we're going to take our right hand and we're going to pull our right ear towards our shoulder. Now as you do this, imagine your left shoulder kind of hanging down low. And then we'll switch. Just gently coming back up to center. Left hand pulls the left ear towards your shoulder. Then release back to center, nice and gentle. Good. Then we're going to warm up our spine with just a gentle twist. So take your right hand, bring it to your left knee. Left hand comes behind you and just gaze over your shoulder towards the back of the room. Bring your chin back around first. Untwist all the way around. Opposite side. Twist. Chin comes back around. Untwist. Nice job. Now plant your right hand beside you on the mat. Inhale, left arm up and over. Big stretch, just warming up our side body. Gaze can come down towards the hand on the ground, or maybe you look up towards the arch of your elbow. Inhale all the way up and over, other side. Inhale back up through center. We'll do each side one more time. Plant your hand up and over, stretch. Then all the way up and over, other side. Come back up, and then we're gonna walk our hands forward in front of us, all the way out. Release your neck down, stretch it out. Then walk your hands back up towards you. And we're gonna come over to hands and knees. And so finding cat and cow pose, tabletop position. So align your shoulders over your wrists and hips over your knees. Look down, make sure your fingers are spread wide. Then as we inhale, look up, gazing all the way up. This is cow pose. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, gaze comes to your knees for cat, stretching all the way up. Inhale back to cow. And exhale to cat, arching the back, gaze comes towards the knees. This should remind you of like a scary Halloween cat or something like that. Just let your breath guide your movement. So I'm gonna flow with my breath, but you can flow with your breath at home, inhaling up and then exhaling back. Hold where you wanna hold this a little bit longer, that's fine. Just, take your time alternating back and forth. You can also use your breath to stretch out the spine in lateral movement. So looking over your shoulder towards your hip, exhaling over to the other side. Just switching back and forth, kind of whatever feels good. It's your practice. There are 23 of you on right now, which is so cool. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're just doing some yoga. If you're hopping on later, just a reminder, we're all in it together. We're all alone, but we're here together. So enjoy the practice as much as you can. So from here, we're gonna go into downward facing dog. So we'll tuck our toes underneath of us. We're gonna lift the hips up, okay? So hips are going towards the sky. Press your weight into your palms and then shift your weight back. So your hips are reaching up towards the sky as your heels are reaching down towards the mat. There's like a two-way stretch going on in the backs of the legs. So your heels are reaching down while your hips are reaching up, and you're using the force in your hands to push the mat away. You can pedal out your feet here, so bending one knee at a time, just stretching each heel down. This is the first one of the practice, so it might feel a little tight to start, and that's okay. So from here, we're gonna look up to our hands, tiptoe to the top of your mat, or just let wherever your hands and your feet kind of meet naturally. And we're gonna act like a rag doll here. So just kind of sway it out side to side. Let your neck release so the top of your head is reaching down towards the ground. Your arms can dangle, or sometimes I like to hold opposite elbows and gently sway here. This is a nice stretch for the backs of your legs. You guys are awesome. Come back to center. We're just gonna bend the knees so you can kind of plant the hands on the mat a little bit. And then we're gonna inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. I'll back up. Arms overhead. And then exhale, hands come to heart. Okay. Take a big step forward with your right foot. We're gonna come into warrior two. So this is a lunge in the front knee, and then the back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. So if you could draw a line, your heel would intersect the arch of your back foot, okay? Reach that right arm towards the mirror, or I always say the mirror because that's where I am in class, but in front of you, and then the left arm towards the back wall. Bring your right arm towards your knee and stretch your arm forward, so it's over here now. Sorry, this is on my computer, so it's not a great angle. Then reach all the way back up. Hands are gonna frame that front foot and then step back to high plank position, okay? So we're here. This is kind of hard, so stay here or come down to your knees, okay? As you exhale, we're gonna lower all the way down to the mat, chest down. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale all the way to child's pose. So hips reach back to your heels, forehead comes on the mat. This is child's pose, okay? So freeze frame me like that. I'm gonna talk to you for a second. In child's pose, this pose is always open to you during a yoga practice. So whatever class you're in a studio, online, whatever, you can always come back to child's pose and find rest there. Sometimes it's nice when you're in child's pose to find that 3-count breath again. So remember at the beginning how we were counting in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. We want to continue that even here. So while you're in child's pose, go back into it. We're counting 1, 2, 3, and exhaling 2, 3. Once you feel ready, we'll come back up through our tabletop position, tuck our toes, and lift the hips for downward facing dog. Pressing the mat away from you. And then walk your hands back to your feet or hands up to your feet up to your hands, either one. But we have to do the other side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart. So other side, left foot comes forward, right foot back. Find a good lunge in that front knee. Left hand forward, right hand towards the back. We're going to bring our elbow to our knee, reach forward for extended side angle. Sorry, the view's not great again, but your right hand is reaching up past your head. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step back to high plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale, chest lifts. And exhale to child's pose. I would bring the camera up a little higher, but then you can't see my face when I'm low, so I'm sorry. Come back to child's pose. Head comes down. And then while you're there, let me just check other comments. You guys are awesome. Love you, Liz. Sounds good, Meredith. Okay, so come up through child's pose to tabletop. And then we're going to find a seated position. This time, we're going to bring our feet out in front of us. Chest lifted, shoulders back. We're going to go into boat pose. It's very important in boat pose to keep your posture in check. And so that might limit what you're able to do, but always prioritize your posture first, okay? So if we're here in boat pose, chest is lifted, shoulders back. You can stay here. This is a great, you're still tightening through your core. So this is a good place to start. Now you can also bring your legs up. This is kind of step 2. So the goal is for your shins to be parallel to the ground. Chest lifted, shoulders back. Step 2, or if you want to make it a little more challenging, we can bring one arm out here and one arm out here, okay? So again, level 1, level 2, level 3. Now, if you want to get to level 4, if this is really easy, you can work on straightening your legs out, but even that's hard for me, so I'm going to stick at level 3, okay? We're going to hold this for 2 more cycles of breath. So inhale and exhale. 1 more inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together for butterfly. Chest lifted, shoulders back. And then walk your hands forward or use your elbows to press out your knees here. So kind of 2 options. Either one's good. Walking your hands forward and resting. or elbows out. We'll hold this for a few more breaths, so really just try to enjoy the stretch here. Walk your hands back up. Great. We're gonna do that one more time. Soles of the feet to the mat, chest lifted, shoulders back, and then pick your challenge for this boat pose, okay? So lift the legs, chest lifted, shoulders back, or float the arms out if you want. Remember to keep breathing even through challenging poses. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, soles of the feet together. And then fold here with your elbows out towards your knees or walk your hands all the way forward. Either option is good. Remember to keep breathing here. With each exhale, think about folding a little bit deeper into the legs, releasing your neck a little bit more. Good, walk your hands back up. Nice job. All right, so next we're gonna come down on our backs. On your back, you wanna make sure that your heels are nice and close into your glutes here, okay? You wanna almost be able to graze your heels with your fingertips. Feet should be hips distance, and we're gonna do a few bridge poses, okay? So keep your head on the mat. As you inhale, we're gonna lift the hips up. Now, it doesn't have to be very high, kind of whatever feels like a challenge, but nothing painful or too strenuous. Just lift, and then as you exhale, we'll lower back down. We're gonna do a few like this. So when you're ready, inhale, lift, and lower, exhale. One more time, inhale, we lift, and exhale, lower, nice. Pull your knees into your chest, hug them in, maybe rock a little side to side. We'll bring our heels back down. We're gonna do one more set of 3 bridges, okay? Heels nice and close. We inhale, lift. Think about pressing your whole foot down into the mat. Exhale, lower. Inhale, we lift again. Exhale, lower. One more time. We inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. Bring your knees back into your chest one more time and rock a little side to side. Good. Bring your feet back to flat on the mat one more time. Remember, this is restorative yoga, so we're not trying to overly exert ourselves. We're just trying to kind of rest, restore the body back to its, its happy place. Feel good tonight as you go to bed. So next, we're going to take our right ankle, cross over the left knee. If this is enough of a hip opener here, that's good. You can stay there, or you can lift up and grab the back of the right hamstring. So the leg where the foot is where you want to grab the back of the hamstring here, and then rest your neck back on the mat. You can stay here or hold the outside of the shin for a deeper stretch. Close your eyes, breathe through the stretch. Release that foot down. We'll switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee. Reach up and grab the back of the right hamstring or front of the shin. Pull that back into your chest and hold. Then release that foot back down. Uncross the legs. We're going to bring our arms out to the side like a T. Or if you want a bigger shoulder opener, bring your arms flat back like a field goal, okay? Knees come into the chest. We'll drop both knees together over to the right. If you can let your feet come down on the mat, that's good. For that full twist, our gaze comes over the left shoulder. Three counts in, three counts out. Try to notice what you're feeling right now, just becoming more aware of your body. Do you feel a stretch between your shoulder blades? Do you feel a stretch in the low back? All of our bodies are different, so we're going to experience this pose differently. Maybe it's in like the top of your thigh, and that's okay. We're gonna bring our gaze back to center. Inhale, bring your knees through center. Then exhale your knees over to the left. Gaze comes over the right shoulder. Continue your breath. On your next inhale, knees come back up through center. Hug your knees, and then your choice, you can take a few rocks up to a seated position, or you can roll over to one side, press yourself up, and we'll meet in a seat. Good. Let me just check this. Thanks for still hanging out. Awesome. All right. So whatever your comfortable seat is, then we're going to move into a straddle stretch. So bring your legs out like a V shape. And it doesn't have to be very wide. It probably looks wider on the camera than it is in real life. But you want to bring your torso so you're aligned over one leg, okay? So from the hips, try to twist over. You're looking over the legs. Walk your hands to frame the foot as far down as you can. And then once you're here, relax your neck down. Let your head drop. With each exhale, imagine yourself coming a little bit further down the leg, a little bit closer to the knee. Walk your hands back up. We'll walk our hands forward in front of us. Same thing, relaxing your neck down. Walk your hands back up. We're gonna do the other leg. So framing that leg again, walking our hands down and release. Walk your hands back up. Nice job. Bring your legs together. We're going to work on staff pose. This is actually one of my least favorite poses. I'm not sure why it's so difficult for me to sit up straight and keep my legs straight in front of me. But it's so good for a lot of parts of the body. So once again, thinking about good posture, so chest lifted, neck is long. One thing in yoga that we like to think about a lot is if we have a string at the top of our head and someone's like pulling it up, that automatically makes you sit up a little taller. So let's all think that way. That little string on top of our head, someone's pulling it up, but keeping our shoulders down, creating space between our ears and our shoulders. Next, we're going to think about our feet, our toes, our ankles. Our toes are going to be flexed, so we're pulling them back towards us. When you do that, you automatically unite some of the muscles in your shins around your ankles, and then your quadriceps light up too. It's like you're lifting your kneecaps back too. So we're using a lot of muscles in our legs. It's more than just sitting up straight, you know. Inhale your shoulders up by your ears, exhale back. And then finally our core is engaged. So when I say that, try to imagine your belly button reaching into your spine, like there's a rod straight through. That kind of pulls everything tight and protects our low back actually. Good. So inhale, arms up, as if someone's pulling you high. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice. Pull your knees into your chest. Feet flat on the mat. And you can do a couple different things here. Sometimes it's nice to kind of just come into a place of comfort, feeling like we're, held by something. So bring your head between your knees, let your neck relax, and you'll feel a really nice stretch as you release your head between the knees. You can stay like that, and I'll chat for a second. A lot of us naturally carry our anxieties and our tensions and our stressors in this area. And so doing these neck stretches will really, really help you be mindful of where you're holding your tension. So in times that you can't control what's going on around you, a lot of times we react in two different ways. And we've learned this kind of in a Bible study that I've been doing the last year or so. When things are out of control, we either react as anxious with anxiety because we're scared of what might happen, or we react in anger. Usually people can kind of pinpoint which ones they are right away. So I challenge you over the next, few weeks or maybe even months that we're doing the social distancing, and we're kind of in fear of what's happening in our country and what's happening with our family and friends. If you find yourself that you're lashing out in anger, or you're more anxious than normal, try to pinpoint where and what you're trying to control that you can't control, and then release that. And people release things in different ways. Maybe it's you have a spiritual way of releasing something, or maybe you have a more physical way of releasing it. But I recommend you need a way to release these things in this time. So find something that allows you to release the feelings that you have, whether it's through journaling or through painting or through something. Find something during that time. Okay, so go ahead and pull your head back up, find a comfortable seat, and we'll kind of end in the way that we started. Close your eyes. First, just by bringing notice back to your breath if we've lost that. Inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 3. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you find that the fullest breath that you've had all night. Inhale and sigh it out together, guys. Let it go. I want to thank you from my heart for just spending some time with me. I've really missed the yoga classes that I teach. It's weird going from teaching so often to not doing anything yoga wise for the last couple weeks. So thank you so much for joining me. I have loved every minute of it. Thank yourself for taking time out of your day. I know that when you're home, it's almost harder to kind of set aside time for things that you want to do, whether that's exercise or cleaning or whatever. But thank you for doing that with me today. We're going to finish just with the word namaste, which means the light in me acknowledges the light in you. So with my hands on my heart, I say namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit maybe less anxious. I've loved having you. Tag a friend if they need some yoga and let me know if I can serve you virtually again. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. Sleep tight.